Remember Home Alone? That family that somehow forgets their kid while rushing to board a flight? Sure, it's absurd, but we all loved it anyway. And the kid at the center of it all must have been a proud guy, right? Well, not exactly. I don't throw this word around lightly, but in his case, things were complicated. Macaulay Culkin was just 10 when he played Kevin McAllister, the wisecracking, booby-trapping kid who outsmarted burglars and stole the world's heart. Directed by Chris Columbus and written by John Hughes, Home Alone became a cultural phenomenon. Released in November 1990, it shattered expectations, earning over $476 million worldwide, and holding the record as the highest-grossing live-action comedy for more than 2 decades. 2 years later, Home Alone 2: Lost in New York raked in another $359 million. Culkin had rightfully become Hollywood's golden boy.
How does it feel to have the #1 movie in the country?
It's great.
But as it turns out, the real drama wasn't on screen. It was at home. By the mid-1990s, the empire that had formed around this tiny superstar was already starting to crumble. Born August 26, 1980, in New York City, Macaulay Culkin was the third of 7 children in a struggling family. They lived in a cramped 1-bedroom apartment on East 94th Street, where space and money were both luxuries. His father, Kit Culkin, was a once promising stage actor who had understudied roles in West Side Story and Wild Honey, but never found lasting success. His mother, Patricia Brentrup, worked as a telephone operator to keep the family afloat. 7 kids, 1 apartment, no privacy. Performance for young Macaulay wasn't just fun, it was an escape. Kit soon became Macaulay's manager, handling every professional decision and controlling every move. What began as paternal guidance quickly turned toxic. Years later, Culkin would describe Kit as the worst person he had ever known.
A lot of times when I was on the road doing things, it was just me and him, so I was kind of locked in a room with a crazy person. I really took the brunt of it.
The man oscillated between ambition and resentment. His father's temper wasn't born of fame, it predated it. But success gave that resentment a new outlet. Culkin once said, "Everything he tried in life, I excelled at before I was 10. That single line distilled years of tension. Kit's dreams had collapsed, but his sons were taking flight. And instead of pride, it bred bitterness. Before Home Alone, Macaulay had already been performing for years. He appeared in Bach Babies with the New York Philharmonic, danced in the Nutcracker at Lincoln Center, and landed small roles in Rocket Gibraltar in 1988 and Uncle Buck in 1989. It was during Uncle Buck that writer-director John Hughes noticed something rare, a sharp mix of timing, innocence, and self-possession. Hughes was so impressed that he wrote Home Alone specifically for him. By 12, Culkin was earning between $4 and $8 million per film, becoming one of the highest paid actors in the world. He hosted Saturday Night Live in 1991, did voiceovers for animated shows, and graced the cover of Time magazine in 1993. They called him the pint-sized power broker. From the outside, it looked like a fairy tale. On the inside, it was imploding. In 1994, Kit and Patricia's relationship, already fraught, fell apart completely. Their custody battle turned vicious, stretching over years and splashed across tabloids. But it wasn't just about who got to raise the children, it was about who controlled Macaulay's estimated $15 to $20 million fortune. The boy who had become Hollywood's most powerful child actor suddenly found himself in a courtroom, fighting not a studio, but his own parents. In a 2020 Esquire interview, Culkin clarified a long-standing rumor. "I didn't divorce my parents," he said. "I just took their names off my trust fund." At 15, he legally removed them from managing his finances, transferring control to an independent accountant. It was a move that might have seemed cold, but it saved him. Hollywood insiders later revealed that Kit Culkin's behavior had become infamous. Producers who worked on Home Alone 2 and The Good Son described him as volatile and combative, a man who threatened to pull his son from projects unless his demands were met. By the time Richie Rich hit theaters in 1994, Macaulay was done. At just 14, he quietly retired. He was exhausted, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. He retreated from public life, enrolled at the Professional Children's School in Manhattan, studied ballet at the School of American Ballet. For the first time, he tried to be a normal teenager. In 1998, at 17, he married actress Rachel Miner. Both were young and eager for stability, but fame had already left scars that couldn't heal in time. They separated in 2000 and divorced in 2002. Culkin stayed out of the spotlight, but his friendship with Michael Jackson, whom he'd met while filming Home Alone, kept his name in headlines. When Jackson went to trial in 2005, Culkin testified in his defense, calling the allegations absolutely ridiculous and standing by his friend. After nearly a decade away, he re-emerged in 2003 with Party Monster, playing real-life club promoter and convicted murderer Michael Alec. The film shocked audiences. The innocent kid from Home Alone was now portraying a cocaine-fueled killer. But the performance was deliberate. He wanted to burn the image people had built of him. In 2004, he starred in Saved, a dark comedy about hypocrisy in religious schools. The same year, he was arrested in Oklahoma City for possession of controlled substances. He pled guilty, received a 1-year suspended sentence, and disappeared again. That low point became a turning one. In 2006, he published Junior, a surreal, semi-autobiographical novel blending fiction and trauma. It was a fragmented letter to himself, grappling with identity, grief, and legacy. He began voicing roles for Robot Chicken, leaning into absurd humor as a way to disarm his past. By the 2010s, Macaulay Culkin had done what few child stars manage. He reclaimed his narrative. He wasn't running from fame anymore. He was mocking it. In 2013, he formed the Pizza Underground, a parody band that reimagined Velvet Underground songs with pizza-themed lyrics. It was bizarre and brilliant, equal parts joke and rebellion. Fans didn't know whether to laugh or cheer, which, for Culkin, was perfect. Performances often dissolved into chaos, and he embraced the absurdity. He became an internet meme, a nostalgic punchline, and he played along with it. Then came 2018. Culkin appeared in a Home Alone-themed Google Assistant ad, recreating scenes from the film in a modern twist. It was funny, self-aware, and, in a way, redemptive. The kid who'd been trapped in a character finally took control of him again. That same year, he sat down with Marc Maron for a long, reflective interview, explaining his disappearance from fame. "I had to walk away before it ate me alive," he said. But life had already begun to bloom again. In 2017, Culkin started dating actress Brenda Song, known for The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody and The Social Network. The two met on the set of Changeland in Thailand and quietly built a life together. In April 2021, they welcomed their first child, Dakota Song Culkin, named after Macaulay's sister Dakota, who died tragically in 2008. In 2022, Culkin and Song got engaged. He began acting again, not because he needed to, but because he wanted to. His role in American Horror Story double feature marked a striking comeback. As Mickey, a struggling writer lured into moral darkness, Culkin delivered one of his most acclaimed performances. Critics called it raw, fearless, and hauntingly self-aware. And then came December 2023, a full-circle moment. On Hollywood Boulevard, Macaulay Culkin received his star on the Walk of Fame. Brenda Song stood by his side, holding their children. Catherine O'Hara, his Home Alone mother, gave a tearful tribute, calling him the reason millions of families still laugh together every Christmas. There he was, the boy who had once symbolized loneliness and resilience in a snowy Chicago suburb, now standing as a man who had finally built peace. Today, Macaulay Culkin leads what he calls a simple life. He paints, he reads, he raises his kids. He spends time with friends like Seth Green and his old Home Alone castmates, and he does it all quietly, far from the noise that once consumed him.
Like I said, I don't pursue it in any kind of any way. I don't have agents anymore and things like that.
Is that because you're just not interested, or?
Yeah, kind of not interested. I don't really like the the pursuit of it. Like what it
The whole
takes to
process,
yeah,
auditions,
exactly.
meetings,
I don't like being on the circuit kind of thing. So, but yeah, no, I I write a lot, I paint a lot. Like I just kind of always have like some kind of projects, and then also like I said, we got the website bunnyears.com kind of thing.
He doesn't chase the spotlight anymore because he's lived through what it does to people who never get to leave it. From a one-bedroom apartment on the Upper East Side to the gilded chaos of 1990s Hollywood, he's seen what fame can give and what it takes away. He's not bitter, just measured. For the boy who once screamed into the camera with aftershave on his face, perhaps silence is finally the happiest ending of all.